They want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain the same.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Men make moves and suckers stand still. And as always, on the mighty Nerve DJs Radio Network. Yo, sometimes I have to laugh at myself, man, because all we do is bring fucking legends to the table, and today is absolutely no exception. We got DJ, Iheart executive, host, promoter, whatever. Just the man wears 1,000 hats, and I don't have the time to name them all. We got Jay Levine in the building. What's going
What's
on,
up,
King? How
man?
you doing?
That's a hell of an intro, man. I thought I was the king of intros, but that is one hell of an intro for your boy. And thank you, man. I'm blessed to be here on Intellectually Petty Radio, man.
I be trying, man. I've been working out, and you got like a gazillion alphabets after your name, man. So I'm gonna let you explain what all that means.
Well, Jay Levine wears many hats, man. Hate to speak of myself in third person, but I'm an AE for iHeartMedia, which is iHeartRadio affiliates. If you know the 5 stations within the market, that's going to be 97.9 WJLB, Mix 92.3, 100.3 WNIC, as well as Channel 955 and 106.7 WLLZ. As far as an account executive, I'm in sales. That's the simplest way to put it. I actually create customizable packages at any rate or level for you guys to be able to market your business and get it out to the masses with reach. That's the biggest thing, and have ROI on the back end. Let's not forget about that. Outside of that, I have Levine Media Group and Shay Levine with my business partner, Sexy Cat. That is also marketing. It's also hosting, podcasting, and entertainment and management on some side. And then also VIP and the D as well, man. So it's a blessing to have all those things underneath my span of my resume. But
Not
it's
mad at that.
It's the biggest thing, just to be able to still expand my network. One of the biggest things I want to do is network to net worth. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto, my trademark. That's network to net worth. And that's how I've gotten here and gotten as far as I have in the industry. So it's a blessing, man. So
Okay. Well, let me start off about me, because that's most important.
understandable.
I've been doing my podcast for years. Finally got a manager last year. Shout out to Rita, who has done a phenomenal fucking job. I cannot thank her enough. But okay, so we want to take it to the next level. I come to you. I'm broke. Well, not broke. I am not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I want to get my shit out there. I've got guests, everybody from Malcolm Jamal Warner to Dr. Umar. How do I get more eyeballs on my shit if I come to you? How much is it going to cost me?
Well, one of the biggest things that I tell everybody is marketing isn't cheap. You know, it takes money to make money, as Straight Money said. One of the biggest things is the medium of television and then radio are not one of the cheapest things at all. None of those things are ever going to be cheap. Print is relatively affordable in some cases, but the biggest thing is we had encompassed so many things, from OTT, which is over the top television, to actually digital products, streaming products, such as podcasting in our platform with iHeartRadio and the iHeart Audience Network, which extends into Spotify and the Pandoras and those things. Outside of that, we do have broadcast radio, as I stated. So for you would come to me and say, hey, I want to advertise and get my podcast onto iHeartRadio platform. We would identify your actual demo. We would look at how many subscribers and users that you actually have, create an ROI based off of that, look at the budget, that is the totality of whatever you have to spend, and then say, hey, which markets do you want to be in? Is it Detroit? Is it LA? Is it New York? Do you want to be in Chicago? Wherever. If you want your podcast to reach these people, here's how much it's going to cost. And usually I will say, and I don't want to turn anybody away from it, but I have to be honest, because that's my whole thing. I have to be honest and upfront with you. I love transparency when I'm selling. But at the end of the day, it does cost. And truthfully, with broadcast radio, I tell nobody, don't come with anything less than $1,000 at the end of the day for 1 week. For 1 week.
Okay.
Why? Because it's all about frequency. No matter what, when you're doing social media, it's frequency. How many times you post in a day to reach your actual followers to get into that algorithm. When it's actual radio, it's how many times have somebody seen your brand or heard your brand, I should say. Television is seen. Same
Mm-hmm.
coincidence or scenario. And from there, it's the repetitive nature of hearing that. So you feel
Yeah.
comfortable with the brand at the end of the day. Now, with something like a podcast, I would say, hey, look, let's look at the actual markets that you want to be in, your budget for the month. Let's see if we could put something together. But a lot of times, even with social media, we had to turn away a big name client, an auto dealer, just the other day. And that was just based upon, hey, you don't have the budget to do social media with us at this point in time. Now, we have other ways of doing things. We have other ways of actually marketing your brand and actually getting you a return on investment. So we came up with another strategy. It was just below the threshold, but hey, we always have a solution for you here at iHeartMedia. And I always have a solution for you for anything that you really need.
Damn, a dealership didn't have the bread.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. Some dealerships are selling more than others. Some dealerships aren't. The biggest thing is it's all about volume. The auto industry suffered a lot from the strike. The auto industry suffered a lot from the pandemic. So they're just gaining ground right now on a lot of these things. And some dealerships sell more than others in certain PMAs, primary marketing audiences or areas, I should say. Outside of that, man, I mean, that dealership is just one of the tiered dealerships that I work with, and I'm happy to say that they've had successful campaigns. We've actually had one campaign that didn't work. That was just one out of 1,000, but still, it's one of those things. We have a great relationship, and at the end of the day, we found something else for them to do through our terrestrial.
Yo, so I'm looking at some of the people that like the flyer,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these people I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go to their page, they in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been working on this circle of relationships? I call it.
How long have I been working on this circle of relationships? I would say since my mother actually introduced me to networking and business. My mother, I'm going to say Lindell. I'm not going to say her last name. I don't want nobody searching for her. But author Lindell on IG, if you would like. She taught me business. She taught me business ethics. My father taught me how to talk to people, and my uncles. Uh, Basically, since I was 5 years old, 5 years old, and she would bring me to her events that she would have. She was at the time just an employee, but she became a VP of an actual 501c3 charity or
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit, which is actually Center for Empowerment and Economic Development, or the WISE program, Women's Initiatives and Self Improvement. Say that 10 times fast. but, but she grew this company with her colleague at the time and president, Michelle, and it became a national nonprofit to the point where she was actually bringing people in like Bill Clinton on his second tour. She brought him to Ypsilanti. Maya Angelou, before she passed away, way back when she came to Ypsilanti, she brought her in. Joe Clark, and the list goes on and on. And Debbie Dingle, things
Wait, wait, wait,
just
wait, hold on.
politicians.
Like the Joe Clark, like the principal.
Yes, the actual principal, not Morgan Freeman. She
Smoke
actually
crack, don't
brought
you?
in. They
My
used to
bad. I
call me
couldn't
crazy,
help
but now they
it.
can call me Batman. Yes, I got to meet Batman at a young, very, very young age. And that's how I learned how to network, the power of relationships and business, and making sure that you're always continuing to meet the next person that might elevate your business, your brand, and your name. That's at the end of the day, your name is your brand. So,
Yo, man, and for the record, man, I kind of hate people, which is
mhm.
odd that I enjoy doing this. But I can keep my distance and have good conversations.
Mhm.
But
Well, hate is a strong word. We got to
no,
say dislike with a passion.
no. We gonna be accurate and be honest. I hate people. Generally speaking.
Uh-huh.
But
Kind of petty. That's kind of petty, but
eh,
intellectually petty.
I'm gonna use that. But I am realizing that I'm doing myself a disservice by not being outside a little bit more. And since I met Troy, who'll be on the show at 7, Troy
Mhm.
Muhammad and Mikey, they
Mhm.
have opened my eyes to the effectiveness of networking.
Always, always.
And just where we met at, like,
Mhm.
I've interviewed several people just from that encounter at that particular networking event, people that I would have never come in contact with otherwise, who are phenomenal fucking people.
Exactly. That's the
What
biggest thing.
what's the downside of it?
The downside of always networking, you're always out. You're always spending a little cash. You're always doing something. There's really no downtime to just sit back and relax because whether it's for IHM, Iheart Media, and I'm out at a Detroit fashion community event. Shout out to Kevin Maples over there. If I'm at that event, I'm collecting contacts the whole time and telling people, hey, this is what I do in my career. I can help your business at any point in time. And if you don't have somebody, please refer me to somebody. The referral is one of the biggest things in sales that people always have to have. It's the word of mouth. If you're a cook, you want somebody to tell somebody else, man, that food is slapping, bro. I'm trying to tell
Man, man,
you. But
listen,
at the end of the day, I have to be able to put myself because I am a brand. Whether you like it or not, salespeople hate to say that. Oh, you're not a brand, you're just a seller. No, you are a brand because somebody has to trust you to be able to give you a budget and then their funds and then wait to see what happens. That's the
facts.
biggest thing. So it's the trust value, and then once you get that trust from somebody, that introduction, they say, "Hey, I actually like you, and I'm willing to talk." That's where the conversations move forward. Even last night, I was out at the Connie Diamond. She's actually a New York rapper in Def Jam and a clever curation group with
Yo,
Chantel.
I did not get an invite to that. Uh,
Ah.
but my manager was there, so shout out to you, Rita.
Well, I will say this. Sorry for not giving you the invite on my behalf. I know I had got it sent just probably 48 hours before. So, and then if your manager was out there, she need to get you out there. You need to be at every single event, but you outside of the area a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little
Your
bit,
your travels is very far, so we understand. Again, it
man.
costs money just to network, but that's one of the biggest things. I was at that event and I started networking again with people I already knew. Like when I walk into a building, people know me by face or they know my name. And sometimes I haven't even had some of the owners. The owner of Shadow Gallery, I didn't even have his number in my phone. But we've known each other for 3 years. We've been backstage at events. We've hung out. We've drunk. He'll pass me shots and all of that stuff. But the networking, if I hadn't went out, I wouldn't have had his number. We wouldn't be talking about future things to come. So that was one of the biggest things is always getting out there, taking your time. You're going to be out after work. So it's an extra job in an essence of itself.
Man,
But at the same time, it's very rewarding when you do it right. So people like Mikey, he does a great job. Mikey does an excellent job. Shout out to Mikey Atkinstein. He does everything perfectly. He's networked since he was with the whole D12 family and Eminem. So in that Kid Rock era coming up. So he's done great things and he's built a platform for himself. That's one of my mentors. That's my big brother. So a great example of networking. Chantel with Clever Curation, her network with Def Jam, and when she did work with them, she expanded and made her own collection group afterwards. And she was a former AE for Iheart Media. So it shows you that every person that's an entrepreneur is really a seller, and it's always about network to net worth. That's it.
yo, man, and I tell people all the time, man, watching Mikey at an event is
Man.
a master class
Mm-hmm.
in dealing with people.
Because everybody's always asking them for something. That's another thing about networking and sales. You always have somebody asking for
And
something.
I
But
like
at the same time,
you never see this motherfucker get frustrated or irritated. None of that shit. And me personally, I be looking like, bro, I don't want to talk to this many people.
no, because you always have to show good grace and faith with everything you do. You may be agitated at the point in time. You may not want to be there. Then remove yourself from that situation after you've been there, and go. But never show somebody a face card. The biggest thing is we're playing poker here and you want to win. So at the end of the day, you always got to be just on point. Shoot, I could tell you some stories about people who weren't on point in the industry, and
I got time.
You got time?
I got time. Yes, nigga. I'm petty. I need a story.
All right. This is one of the stories that I always tell people, that with your first interaction with somebody, it's everlasting. Now, you could always have a second chance with somebody, but at the same time, that first impression is always going to stick with them. And what happened was, I was an intern for WJLB, my stations right now. And this is the worst person that I say from the industry and music industry. Worst interaction, not the worst person, the worst interaction. Let me say that.
Okay.
The worst interaction I've ever had. And it actually didn't even resonate. It didn't happen to me all the way. It happened to everybody that was there. So it was at WJLB. We were actually doing a promotion for Mother's Day with Mix 92.3. Great station. Great things were happening. They were doing a lot at that time. And one of the people that came in was Jaheim. So Jaheim was doing a performance. And then before the performance, he was supposed to come out and meet the mothers for an actual dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And at that dinner, he was supposed to sit down, talk, have autographs. It was only a 2-hour appearance. It was at Arturo's in Detroit.
Right.
And I remember this day because, one, my mother's birthday is and usually falls on Mother's Day. She was born on Mother's Day. Okay. So Jaheim is her favorite artist at the time. And with that being said, we sat there at Arturo's. I was a promotions intern, and that means I set up everything. I make sure everybody's catered to, all the listeners feel comfortable. Everybody sat down, ate. No Jaheim. Everybody sat down and waited for a little bit longer. No Jaheim. Our 2-hour appearance time is over. And it could have been not his fault. It could have been the plane. Could have been some other things. I'll give him that. It turns into 3 hours, and Arturo's tells us, hey, we have to move you guys outside. There's another party that's coming in. We have to set up for them, but you guys can wait on our patio. So we said, we'll wait about another 35, 45 minutes. Finally, here comes the white Escalade. Oh. And one of my good friends in the industry, I'm not going to name him at this point in time, but he was the A&R at the time. And he said, hey, man, we ready, but we got to hurry this up. Okay, great. We'll do that. We'll make sure everybody gets to me.
Hold on. We're an hour and a half late, but now we got to rush you. Okay.
No, we're almost 3 hours late. Almost.
My bad.
But at that time, he walked back to the car. And after he walked back to the car, he mumbled some things. See Jaheim's head linking out. Then all of a sudden, he comes back and he says, he don't want to get out. He don't want to get out. What you mean he don't want to get out? He don't want to get out. Now, mind you, I spin this man's record still to this day. So shout out to Jaheim for making great music. But at this instance, I was hurt. And I was hurt looking at the mothers because they're wondering what's going on. And we're having a private conversation with the A&R. He said he doesn't want to get out. He don't feel good. We're like, but we've been waiting and you guys could have told us. He was like, he just don't want to get out. So he goes back and he talks with them. He said, all right, man, he gonna get out. He gonna take these pictures for these ladies. We gonna make it right. Great. I didn't have a quarrel with all of that. I was disappointed a little bit that was said, but the real quarrel I had with it was the mannerism when he got out the car. And when he got out the car, it was just the disconcern for the people there. It was the no smile on your face. As we stated with Mikey, there's no smile on your face, even though you're going through something. It's just anger. It felt like like you didn't want to be there, but these are your biggest fans. They won. They have the opportunity to be in front of you. This is once in a lifetime. This is a memory they'll cherish for the rest of their life. And I'll never forget it. He walks over and he goes, all the pictures. And one of the ladies yelled out, and I'll never forget it, "Smile, Jaheim. We want to see you smile." No, he was still doing the same thing. Bro, I was so angry, but I asked my boss at the time. Shout out to Lester Tennyhill. He was my boss at the time at one point in time, and I became his colleague later on. But I asked him, this is my mother's birthday, and it's also Mother's Day. Can I go, have her come up as well? He was like, "Yeah, come on, go get her." And I'll never forget it. My mom looked from the parking lot because she was parked only a couple of rows over, because at the time, she's helping me out, right. I'm 18, 19. And I said, "Mom, do you want to get a picture with him?" They said, "It's okay." "No, I want to get you in trouble." I was like, "Come on, Mom, they said it was good." She was like, "No, Jay, he don't look up too happy." And that broke my heart, because at that point in time, she already knew what was going on.
Wait, let me ask you this. Was this clean Jaheim, or was this scruffy, like homeless looking?
No, it was scruffy homeless Jaheim. They wouldn't even ask him to come out to sing at that point in time. This was never G-I-V-E-U-P. Like, this was Never Give Up Jaheim. This was, yeah.
I'm trying to get this nigga a break. I'm trying to look for an outfit. Damn.
That's what I mean by that. And I won't tell you what happened afterwards, the stories we heard and saw, but that's allegedly anyways. But this is factual because I seen it. But that stood with me to the point where I was like, "Jaheim, man, I don't even want to play his music, but I still do, because everybody deserves a second chance at everything." But it never left me of that was the worst thing that I had ever seen. And I always said, you can't wear your emotions on your shoulder. You gotta show your poker face at all times, because you never know who you may be in front of. You never know who you may meet. Most millionaires don't wear all the flashy stuff that black folks wear anyways. So you could be standing next to somebody and they could put you in a position, if you're talking right, smiling right, acting right, and you're good and positive at the end of the day. So always put on a good face. If not a good face, a good front.
Yo, that's wild, bro. That's
Yeah.
horrible. So look, I'm looking at your IG, man. Just looking at like 50 Cent, Master P, was that Nivea? I mean, there's a who's who of people. Wow, Skilla Baby with your son.
Shout out to Iheart Media for helping out with that 97.9 WJLB Codes for Kids at that point. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, I actually was outside of that event, and because my where was I think that was the night of the event at Cambria.
It could have been different days, but I know specifically with which one are you talking about? Skilla Baby specifically?
It was Skilla Baby. I know Oba Roland was there, and I can't remember who else was. It was somebody else there, but the line was so fucking long. I just left it. I'm like, I don't need a coat. I'll just go in and kind of network a little bit, but the shit was just popping. But my point was, especially with Skilla Baby, I'm like, and I've never met the guy. But I'm very proud of the way he has been going about his business. Some of the fence mending that he has helped with. Him and 42 Doug have for me, of their generation, set themselves apart outside of music, but just as good dudes, really trying to keep the city in unison.
Skilla Baby is an example of the good experience and putting that face forward, because he was running. He literally jumped off the plane when I took that picture. Like, he was running to Coats for Kids to be there and make sure that him, Sada, and T were all there, And one of the biggest things that I know is he was like, "Man, I'm hungry. I'm trying to," and Still, when I asked him, hey, my son is here, he's your biggest fan plus his friend, he said, no problem. No problem, bro. Let's do this. And I'll never forget it. Like my son's sitting here, like he's showing them stuff. He's like, oh yeah, man. And even when he was talking with the mothers of other kids, and the grandmothers and all that, he was so humble. He was so freaking humble. And it just left left an impression on me that I was always like, man, this dude is going to go far because one, he knows how to handle himself in different rooms at all points and times, and he never changes. The next week, or really next 2 days later, I saw him posting he was in church, with the church clothes on. Got to make it here. It just shows that's a good experience that will always resonate. So if anybody said anything bad about him, I'd be like, nah, that's not Skilla, baby. That's not him. From what I got, that brother did everything right. And he was so humble. So I know you wrong. And the same with 42 Doug, because he was humble. I would never forget it. He was at a Big Show. And for some reason, he came through. I don't think he was performing, but he came through the crowd with his people. And the security at the front gate, no, you can't get back. You can't get back. I'm like, bro, that's 42 Doug. He needs to be back there. Like, you gotta let him in. He was like, hey, thanks, bro. That's all good. I'm like, oh, no problem. He was like, no, that's real. Like, that's a good experience. He could have just walked off, and I've had artists do that are local. Just walk off after you help them get in somewhere and not even say 2 words to you, then look at you backstage like, who is you? Like, what? So that's just a good experience of always putting your best foot forward too, as well. And those 2 men, they have elevated the game for Detroit rap music. That concert, unfortunately, I missed it with 42 Doug, and it was epic. I had a DJ at that point in time, but it just hearing about it, still seeing the videos, still seeing what one man can do when he brings in his whole label, because that was already a pre-set date with the CMG concert. But to make it his own, especially when he got out, it was big. It was huge. It was immaculate. So shout out to those 2 for being, putting on the city. And then Skilla Baby's mentioned in Jack Harlow's music. So
I ain't like that. I'm just gonna
You
keep
didn't
it a
like
buck.
that?
I did not like that at all, bro. You get like, first off, I ain't a Jack Harlow fan.
Oh, why is
Secondly,
that?
they forcing them on us.
Okay, understandable.
I don't like that. But secondly, man, you shouldn't have been performing at that game. Skilla Baby should have been performing at that game. I don't know who's controlling they entertainment shit, but I don't want to hear somebody from a gazillion miles away talking about I get love. No, bro, from who?
Here's what I'll say about that. I've watched Jack Harlow's career from the early stages of some of his music all the way to now, and he has evolved. One of the biggest things that I'll say to that Super Bowl performance, Jackie, Detroit was like, you got to do better, bro. You got to come in here with some energy, man. But I still love his music. Why? Because it's always energetic, and I always hear something different than the other rappers that are out there of the same, race that still are more so repetitive. To me, I don't care what anybody say. Best rapper alive is going to be Eminem, right behind that Jay-Z. So those 2 compete at all points and times. But my biggest thing is, and I heard my biggest thing
Because I can't
is,
agree with that, bro. Like,
why would you not agree with that? Let me
because
ask.
and I,
I don't want to be the driver, but go ahead.
I fucks with M, but
Okay.
M on dope, phenomenal. Sober M, average.
Different.
Average.
Let's not say average. Different.
Average.
Can you rap God word from word, syllable from syllable?
I don't care if I can like adding syllables doesn't make you a better MC.
But how not? Because
It doesn't.
that's just like saying big puns, dead in the middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we riddled 2 middlemen who didn't do diddly. There's so many syllables in that.
Okay, but that's Big Pun. Big Pun was just a dope ass fucking MC. Like,
So is it.
I listen to Doggy Style from front to back, and Snoop, but is not on anybody's top 10 pen list. But Snoop is a dope ass artist.
I don't know, because it's the capital S or yes or fresh or double OP. Like those, and you see, I love music. So those ways to combine words and rhythm and cadence with the different to hit the snare a certain
no,
way.
you hit the nail on the head right there. His cadences and his flow were just not the same.
You talking
And
about Jack
so,
Harlow?
no, I'm talking about M.
M. Okay, yeah, just not the same
So,
on. Okay.
whereas the syllables worked when you was in the pocket,
Mm-hmm.
when you no longer in the pocket, on paper sounds good, and every once in a while he gets it, but for most people that have a real bad, have a substance issue, and that's part of their creative process,
Their imagination. Yep.
and losing that makes you a better person in real life,
Mm-hmm.
but in the booth, sometimes, and I think Royce for me is the only person that got better.
All day. That
I
Royce
mean,
too. He my
and
idol.
Royce got like just from song selection, the structure, the cake, like he just got better.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem did not; he got worse.
Now we
And maybe it's because the first two albums were so fucking dope.
Yes, yes, that is exactly one of the reasons. And again, he's a master storyteller, a master storyteller. I mean, if you look back to Role Model, to scary movies with Royce the 5'9", those brothers told stories, and you could literally see it before you even saw the video in your head. That's the biggest thing about him, and the difference, from then till now. Now he
Yes.
is the man that is just going to rip you apart with so many verbs and nouns and everything else. It's just going to
He
be
lost to
destruction.
MGK, bro. Like he's not. I don't even know to rip you apart, bro. Like I would love to talk to the brother about it.
He lost to MGK.
Yes, he did.
I say that's still an ongoing battle to me. They was about even to me on that one. We diverging off on subject, but
No, we
dang,
not, man. Because I'm gonna talk about anything. Anything
that's
goes,
true
bro. And
indeed.
he lost.
True
He
indeed.
lost. No, but I got okay. So I got a question totally off of that topic.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Rita been talking about kind of dipping our toe into like doing some events.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to do first is like just be one of the sponsors. How do I go about, like, say, okay, VIP in the D is doing a networking event. I want to have my logo up there and come and schmooze with some people and kind of learn the art of doing that. Is that something that's possible? Do you
Yes,
like
it's
how do you go about
possible.
doing that?
So for a person, if you are the client and you want
Mm-hmm.
to be a sponsor on some events, such as the Beautiful Machine magazine event that just passed, or VIP in the D networking pop-up shop, whatever it may be, first
Mm-hmm.
thing you need to do is reach out to that person, that business contact. Now, if you
Okay.
can't find it, there's always Google. People are lazy these days. They don't feel like just even Googling something, and you got your phone in your hand. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. I hate when people ask me questions that are simple and they could just look it up. That's it. But at the end of the day, you're going to reach out to that business contact, and then you're going to reach out to their social medias, and then you're going to reach out to them via email, whatever way you can. Now, behind that, once you get in contact with them, usually they'll have a proposed package already planned out. So it'll be, hey, this is this tier sponsorship. This gets you a booth. This gets you your table, and then you also get visuals on the actual per se flyer.
Okay.
Now the next tier may be all of that plus. If they have a radio or television ad, then you'll be mentioned in that. Or if they're
Okay.
on Fox 2 News for a special occasion, then you get the mentions in that. Thank you to our sponsors. This, and this. And then past that, I mean, there's going to be different tiers and different levels of that. That's the
Okay.
easiest way. If you want to get a part of our events, which we will have soon in 2024, late 2024, we're planning some things with VIP and the D and Tasha Levon. But you can always reach out to us directly. And if you don't have a contact, look in your phone for the people that are close to them. You're on Instagram, you see these people with them. Stop being scared. One big thing is somebody asked me the other day, man, why ain't we not call nobody? And I said, well, I don't call you because I don't want to reach out and feel like I'm taking something from you. I'm a very humble man. I want it to be a right time. He said, no, bro, closed mouths don't get fed. That's the biggest thing, man. So always reach out and network with me. So look in your phone and reach out to those people that may know those people, because a referral, again, is the best way. It's a warm call, not a cold call. And then that's how you get in contact with somebody from there. That's the biggest thing with that. But it's very relatively easy. And like I said, people usually have proposed packages that are already planned out. So being a sponsor for something like that, or even Iheart Media, of course, you can reach out to me and then we'll find that right event to have.
We're going to talk about that. We're gonna have to talk about that. I definitely, when they search for shit, I want to be on the first couple pages. But I'm gonna add to what you said, just for me personally, because I don't like asking people for anything. The people that I deal with, I'm gonna always, no matter, because I've come across a lot of just dope ass people that will just do shit because they believe in what I'm doing, or they think I'm a cool person, whatever the case may be. But I always, every once in a while, I just hit them up randomly. Hey, is there anything I can do for you?
There you go. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Because people in positions of power are used to everybody asking them for something, but they aren't used to somebody asking them, is there something I can do for you?
Hey, there's one of the general managers, well, I should say partners over at the Garden Theater. One of my good friends. If I call him, I'm in there. Don't matter if there's a line, don't matter what event. Security knows me, but I call him. Come on, hurry up. Let's go. Come on in. My friend once said, Santana, he said, hey, man, have you ever seen that one scene in Goodfellas where Jimmy is walking to his date through the restaurant, through the back door, and then they set the table down for him? Yeah, that's Jay Levine right there, man. I walk through everywhere through the back door because he knows everybody. And I'm like, no, that's not true. But I had to think about it one day as I did it, and it was literally almost similar to that. And I was like, wow, it's the power of my network in all of these years of building trust and relationships with people in business and around the community that now I get access to certain things, So, and again, it's your brand. I'm not, some of the big people out here are big influencers. I'm very much behind the scenes. I'm a very calm, cool, chill person. I love to DJ, do music, and make people. I'm a vibe curator at the end of the day.
Yo, that's dope. Like, I don't. You need to get a trademark on that, because I ain't heard that one before.
Ding, ding.
Yes, that right there. Yo, DJing. What? Like, how long have you been DJing?
Since I was 16. Never forget it. My aunt, auntie, that's what we called her. She was like my grandmother, since I lost both of my grandmothers before I was born, and she took that role. And one of the biggest things that she did, and I said, I want to be a DJ. I want to try this. I want to do this. I love music. As a kid, shoot, I had started a singing group, and I thought I was going to be Ronnie, Bobby, Vicky, and Mike. You can ask some of my friends right now. They'll laugh at it, but we talked about that the last week. Trying to be, in the industry. I really wanted to be that winner of that Grammy. But as time went on, I said, okay, let me transfer my skills and what I like to do. And I never forgot that I watched my uncle DJ, and I watched a few of my friends who had parents, they DJ'd, and my cousin DJ. So I was like, let me try this. And she bought me my first starter pack. It was 2 new Mark 12s and literally the vinyls. And I'm a vinyl DJ. I'm not a Serato, punch the keys, keyboard DJ. No, literally I was on, which was the 101 Shure mixtape. And it taught you how to do certain backspins and juggles and all that stuff. And I studied my craft for a full year. And one of the things that was said in that tape, the guy, he DJ'd for, and I can't remember which one, but he DJ'd for Wu-Tang Clan. He also DJ'd for Tribe Called Quest and a couple other people. But he said, in the Art of War, Sun Tzu said, if you study your craft for 1 year, without any distractions, no alcohol, no women, no nothing, you know, without those distractions. I know it's hard. Trust me, it was hard at 15 too.
No wonder I ain't got nowhere.
Nah, you intellectually petty, my brother. So you somewhere. One of the biggest things with it, he said in the Art of Sun Tzu, if you study these things for 1 year and you put forth that time into your craft, then you will be the master of your craft after 365 days. Even 50 Cent said that. He said, if you sit back and you shut off the world, you know, forget all the social media and you hone in on your craft, you don't go out to the clubs, you don't sit here and do all the things that everybody else is doing, you will win. You will actually win because you put forth the energy into that. But it takes you sitting back for 1 year, you know, and actually learning and doing the steps needed to prepare you for what you're destined for.
Okay, so you got the Fox Theater,
Mm-hmm.
New Year's Eve, and you
Mm-hmm.
get to pick one DJ. That's not you.
That's not me. From
Anybody?
Detroit or just one DJ period?
One DJ period. Who you got?
Oh, man. Somebody, okay, I'm gonna start off like this. I'm gonna do a local and a national one.
Okay.
Local is going to be, and people are going to hate me for this. If it's the older crowd, then it's going to be Steady Rock all day. Mr. Shane Park, Mr. Aretha Franklin. If it's the younger crowd, it's going to be DJ Carter anytime. Why? Because DJ Carter knows how to not only control the crowd, but also he's been doing this since.
See, I don't want that shit though. Like, no. You can't have it both ways, bro.
Oh, you got to pick one. Steady Rock.
Okay,
Steady Rock. Steady Rock. And I love
for me,
I love
you ain't really a DJ if I got to give you an age frame.
See, that's true. That's true because when I DJ, I could go to a bar, a white bar, and I could sit there and spin country to hip hop to pop and come back to with a little EDM and come back to the rap hits all at once in one night. You'll hear everything. But I have my segments, but you'll hear everything. And if I want to freestyle and just make you hear everything, you'll hear it all blend just by BPMs.
Half the DJing is reading the room.
Exactly. And that's the one big thing that Steady Rock always said to me. And we actually talked about the other day. He had a DJ. He gave him the opportunity. That DJ had people walking out of the room. So the people called him was like, we
want our
hey,
money
man.
back, bro.
Who's this guy? Like, he's like, make sure you're here next time, Steady Rock. Okay, all right. And at the end of the day, Steady Rock, the way he controls the crowd, the way his energy is from start to finish, he's never changed up. I've known this man for at least my whole radio career since I was 19, 20. So literally, and I'm 36 now, but at this time, it's literally 16 years, and he's just always been the same. So shout out to Steady Rock, Mr. Aretha Franklin, Mr. Shane Park. That's one of the best DJs of all time. Now, on a national tip, national tip, DJ Khaled killed it for me. I ain't gonna lie. Envy is great. Yes. When you go to
how you put him over Kid Capri, bro? We about to fight.
I'm a DJ Jazzy Jeff fan.
Not Jazzy Jeff. I'm talking about Kid Capri. Like DJ Jazzy Jeff. I one of the goats. Mm-hmm. But it's like Kid Capri had me at the crib through Instagram, sweating up a storm. Like your man's knows how to DJ apart. Khaled.
Here's the thing about Khaled. I love arenas. I love places where there's a lot of people. Even I had an ex-girlfriend and she said, why are you always at the club? And I'll be like, I just like the environment. Well, you out there talking to girls. No, I'm not. I'm in the DJ booth catching the vibe, listening to everybody. And that arena feel when somebody is DJing and they take you from point A to B to C in different genres of music and make white, black, Indian, and Filipino people feel all types of music, including hip hop. And I'm not talking about the clean hip hop. I'm talking about the trashy, dirty, make you want to just, hey, we will so like, and there's kids there, but they're
first
with
off,
their
you're too
parents.
young for that. You don't know nothing about
Oh,
that.
no, man.
Stop it.
Oh, man. Remember, I'm a DJ. You ain't gonna dollar bill me. You ain't gonna say all you do is spin records. Who's you?
My bad.
Who's you? DJ Coop?
Yo,
But no, that's one of the things. And I went to one of the concerts that he was DJing at. I think it was the Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake. And that was the first time he DJ'd, before the Beyonce on the Run tours. And he killed it. He killed it. I'll never forget. It was at Ford Field, and he killed it from start to finish. So behind the scenes, he really is a DJ. He kills it. That's one of my favorite DJs of all time.
Yo, man, and all this time I've been hating the man for being the culture vulture, and not that that's changing much, but okay, I'm gonna have to give him a little latitude now.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought the DJ was just some letters in front of his name to make it sound better.
No, it's just like me. Pretty much I'm a DJ, but after DJing, I got into music production. It's sitting right here in my office. I produced beats for a while. That's how he moved on to that platform. And then he became an executive producer on albums. And then he became, what DJs are doing now. And he made it famous, very much more famous, just like DJ Quick, even though Quick is a rapper, which is the difference. He actually transformed and said, this is a business move. Let me put all these artists onto one album, and I'm producing the music, and I'm collecting certain beats from certain people, and I collectively put them together to make a great album, but it's my name on it. And at the end of the day, they get their credits, they get their money, and I make money as well. And he's revolutionized that. You can look at some of the people that have followed suit. Actually, prior to him, DJ Drama. DJ Drama was the best at that.
Like
all day.
He
The
didn't
Godfather.
I can't give him that. DJ Drama, K Slay, Clue, even Funkmaster Flex.
Flex, you gotta give it up to Flex too.
Hell, if you want to go back, man, the Drunken Master.
Yes. See, you going, your history.
Come on, bro, man. Well, first, I interviewed Drunken Master. Wild story. He used to date my cousin.
that don't start off good, but keep going.
No. This is when he came on. I was talking about because I remember one time we was in this after hours on Gratiot. Mm-hmm. Shit went sideways. Niggas started shooting at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this nigga was there with us.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Oh, man.
Embarrassing, but you like, bro, come on, let's go. You don't know.
Yo, this shit was wild though, man. Niggas was shooting dice on the pool table, one way in, one way out. One nigga, I guess he was losing. I don't know what the case was. I wasn't paying attention to the action. Mm-hmm. And I seen this dude pull out a gun, start shooting in the air. And the other nigga put out a gun and start shooting that nigga.
Yeah, that's no incrimination. But shoot, hey, that's what happens and people don't understand. That's what's been happening for a long time. That's sad, man, because in Detroit, it was the Wild Wild West for a long time. For a long, long time, and still in some is. You know what I mean? And that's not just Detroit. I'll tell you the straight facts. I DJ'd at a spot where that happened several times just in a 1 year span. And people don't understand, for us DJs or people that, are in this club life, because I also was in the club life as far as assistant managing and helping and security as well. You see a lot of things going on and a lot of things going down that most people would not even understand. And you live with a lot of PTSD and you have to put on a great face at all points in time. It's like,
you gotta, at some point you gotta say no to that club too, though. Like, bro.
Yes, that is true. But when it pays the bills, sometimes you be like, man.
All money ain't good money.
That is true. That's what somebody else said to me too. But we're not going. That's a whole nother conversation. They called that Iheart of Hipsy, that location.
Shit, yo. I was watching a little special on YouTube about Blade. What did Blade mean to hip hop in Detroit?
Everything, man. We still like with Blade. It was the first time that you could actually be sort of flashy with it. You know, it was more so we already did that because Detroit is a not flashy city, but it's a stunner
No,
city. Like
no, it's a flashy city.
you
If
gotta
you could
have
buy
your shit.
if you could buy a lime green Cadillac, you will.
One of my cousins, God rest his soul, he was a true Detroit player. If you look in his closet, we told him, and I'll never forget it. Your whole closet looked like an Easter pastel basket. But that's the truth about Detroit. Is it's literally one of those cities where it was sort of flashy, but we were still in that grit and grind era, like the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah,
And what he did was he said, no, we going back to this and let's talk about getting money. You know what I'm saying? Let's really talk about getting money. And it flowed into, the rest of the people that were around him, and the people that weren't around him, the East versus West Side, Doughboys Cash Out, versus Team East Side. You could hear some of his rapping style still to this day, even with the T
yeah.
Grizzlies. So it's that influence that transcend. And with Blade, it was just you felt like he was your homeboy. Like you didn't want to fuck with him, but you felt like it was your homeboy. And low key, I'll never forget it. When I was young, I think I was 16 out at summer jams, and I actually bumped into him because we were all moving around, everybody, through the crowd. And somebody was like, I was like, oh, my bad, bro. He was like, no, you good, bro. Another time, didn't know who he was, but somebody behind me, a girl was like, oh, yeah, they played high school. And I'm like, that's Blade. And I'm like, I'm with my homeboy. I ain't even supposed to be out of the house. I was grounded at time at summer jails. The last one that they did at Hart Plaza because of all them fights. And literally, I was just like, man, well, we ain't gonna bother him. Just keep it moving, bro. But still, it's just those interactions. Like it's a cool ass dude. Like, and it's just sad that, his life, was ended so early. And, that's sad to say about a lot of our artists and upcoming people. R.I.P. Slick B, one of the best DJs around, and he was slain. So, 1-800 speak up too, if you have any information on that. But that's the biggest things that I would say about Blade is he gave a lot to our city, and you still see it transcending to this day. And, just man's legacy.
That nigga was Maserati Rick for rappers.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good ass accolade and definitely would have to say it time. But man, that's
But he like and not to say like you say, other niggas talk that shit. A lot of niggas in the city talk that shit. Uh, Big Hurt for me is my favorite out the city ever. But that nigga, as far as talking that shit,
that was him.
he made you smell the smoke of crack. He made you feel like you just walked in the dancery, nigga, and you was iced out. You had the mink on. He made you feel like you was at City Slickers spending a bankroll.
Right.
Even for
right.
niggas that had no money, he made you feel
like he was spending money. And man, just when you be in the club, I'll never forget it with WJLB, Plan B nightclub at the time with 211 Ultra Lounge at the basement. And this song hit, man, it was a rap. It was a rap. I'll never forget being on the second floor looking down. It's now Trust Nightclub if you ever been there, if anybody wants to visit. You just look down and you see just everybody just boss up. Just it. And you wanted, that's that Detroit man lifestyle. You want to get money and you're going to figure out a way, some way, somehow.
Yes.
Either going to grind it out or you going to, handle your business on the business corporate side, whatever it is, but you going to get your money. Most of us are just hustlers by nature. So, yeah.
Yo, I remember I seen Cheddar Boys do Old Boy in Hart Plaza. I wasn't even fucking Cheddar Boys fan, man. I was a Rock Bottom fan all day.
Do.
Nigga, when them niggas did, oh boy. Woo-hoo.
We ain't playing the games. Oh boy, we be spraying the
my
things.
God damn, man. I'm telling and that's what I feel bad for this generation is that they don't see they miss the downtown being downtown
Talking about
for
Bella,
no reason at all.
they're
For
just being
free.
on Jefferson and just seeing car after car after car and walking. Again, I had snuck out for I don't think it was the fireworks, but it was some type of event, and riding down Jefferson with my boys, chilling in the car, doing what we do. You know, back then it was smoking, drinking, all that stuff. But
Man.
still, it was life, man. That was you'll never see Belle Isle with 2,000, 3,000 people on it, packed for the all end to end,
Until
and
they
then
close that bitch down.
right, and the police had to come through and tell everybody to leave, and they did that big wall, that big 3-car wall, and they would make one car back up, and then the next one back up, and they kick them out, then they move forward, then they make the rest of them kick. Yeah, you'll never see that again, man. Never.
Man.
But in the essence, it's the evolution of everything that has to go on in Detroit, only because we have to see the growth and expansion of it. We are one of the fastest regrowing cities right now. And then also our economy is too. So a lot of money is being poured back into Detroit. It deterred some, things that we used to love, but hey, it's all about safety and making sure that.
But I don't know that we're seeing our share of like what we supposed to for those people that stuck it out.
No, you're not. No, and because I'm gonna say
Mike
you're
Illich
not,
and
we're not.
They definitely getting they own downtown at this point. Those two.
Yes. Do I think some of those proceeds should be given back to people that have like had 20, 30 years in the city and stayed in the city, like my pops and my stepmother? Yes. Their taxes should be low on their homes.
Yeah, they should get grandfathered in on some sweetheart deals.
They should get grants.
Yeah,
I say they should get grants to be able to buy and purchase homes in the city and then renovate them. I mean, that's a big thing. They should be doing that. Like, there are people that stuck in the trenches, and even though they redlined Detroit, we're gonna be honest about it. They redlined that whole city from end to end, all the way from east downtown all the way over to the west side of Telegraph into Redford and down all the way to Southwest. Now you're seeing the revitalization of their wrongings, but I think we are due something, and we are due something, and I only say y'all sometimes because technically I wasn't a resident of Detroit. I am from Ann Arbor. I will say that outright. Hail to the victors. I've lived in Detroit, but I am a Ann Arbor boy at the end of the day. ATL.
Although shout out to the Harborough, man. Like Harborough, what you doing, bro? Like you can't try to win another one anyway.
Ann Arbor.
And I, a lot of my checks went to U of M. Shout out to my daughter; she graduated from there. So,
congratulations to her. Hail to the victors again.
But man. Anyway, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that?
You get in touch with me so many ways. My information, my cell phone number. Well, hell, I'm in sales, so I'm gonna say it anyways. 734-972-3544. If you didn't hear me the first time, it's 734-972-3544. You can reach me directly if you need any of these three businesses help, especially with Iheart Media. I'm in sales. I can help create any type of digital, social, or radio terrestrial campaign for you, a business of any size. Also, LMG with marketing and also management with my partner Tasha Levon with Sexy Cat. And then VIP and the D. If you have any events that are going on, any event, please hit us up. We get the promotion out there, especially when it comes from our page. You will get ROI. You will get that return on investment, my boy. So come on and just give me a call. Also, you can see me on social media. The letter I, the letter M, JAYLAVON. That's the letter I, the letter M, JAYLAVON. I'm Jay Levon.
Yo, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow because I got a game show I want to talk to you about.
Hey man, I'm ready. I'm ready for all things and all things that
New
God
shit.
brings to me. Blessings.
I
That's
got you.
all I want.
I got you. Hey, me too. I can use a couple of them Iheart dollars.
Put them to good use.
Right.
I already are right here.
Yo, Matt, this has been a phenomenal conversation, bro. I truly appreciate you for stopping by, man. I'll throw a couple clips together in the next couple of days and put them out there. Make sure y'all support. Y'all check out the interview. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Intellectually Petty Radio YouTube channel and all things intellectually petty. Yeah. On that note, man, yo, I'll holler at you, bro. Yo, I got you, man. We'll definitely be chopping it up. Appreciate
We're
you,
gonna
bro.
chop it up. Hey, brothers for life from this point on, man. For
Absolutely.
real.
I got you.
And thank you for having me on. This is a blessing. I feel honored to be here in this seat speaking with you. For real.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry a little bit. That's absolutely
Shit.
tears and shit. On that note, I'll holler at you, bro. You have a good one.
You have a blessed one. Peace.
All right, peace. Yo, don't forget, in 1 hour, I got Student Minister Troy from Detroit's Mosque #1 coming on. That's, if you know me, man, that is family. Yo, that was a very, very, very dope conversation. Shout out to Jay Levon again, and don't forget to tap into him. What's up, bro? You know it don't stop, man. And shout out to you, bro, because you one of those people that been fucking with me for a minute now, man. So, and you have seen the growth. You see that it don't stop because I don't fucking quit, man. I wasn't raised that way. I'll never quit. Success is not a if, it's a win with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna happen. You already know. On that note, man, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all in an hour. Well, actually 57 minutes. Peace. Y'all have a good one.